morning. Go ahead and make your way to your mats. Coming to a nice comfortable seated position. We'll just open up with a few breaths, centering in. If it's available to you, begin taking those breaths in and out through your nose. And letting your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Crown of the head extending up towards the sky. Maybe you slightly activate that core, drawing that belly button up and in. Nice straight spine. And if you're joining me early this morning, just take a moment to scan your body for any stiff places, for anywhere you may be carrying any tension, any injuries you may need to be aware of throughout the class. Just kind of checking in with your body. Gently allowing the eyes to open. Continue carrying that nice, slow breath in and out through the nose throughout the whole class. Finding that nice, even, conscious pace. And then dropping the right hand to the mat, inhaling left hand up, exhale, over, side bend. And we're going to do a little movement one this morning. Inhaling up through center, exhale over to the other side. Inhale, center, exhale, side bend. Inhale, center, exhale, bend. One more time each side, and we'll hold it for a couple breaths on each side. Holding here, reaching out through that top hand. Also see if you can continue to roll those shoulders open. So it's a nice lateral bend to the spine, not hunching the back. And inhale through center, exhale, other side. Inhaling up, hands to the mat in front of you, leading with that chest, beginning to walk forward, forward fold. Doing it with a nice straight spine, drawing out through the crown of the head. If you feel your tailbone coming up off the mat or the hips lifting up off the mat, press into those fingertips, really grounding that seat. And for the next few breaths, letting that turn into a fold, allowing the head and neck to relax towards the floor. Bringing that head and neck back to neutral, beginning to press back up to seated, getting the other hip just gently by switching the cross of the legs. From that switched position, go ahead and begin to walk forward again, starting with the chest leading. Again, rooting through those hips, pressing back into the fingertips if you need to. For a few breaths, releasing in the head and neck. On your next inhale, slowly pressing back up to seated. Let's go ahead and take a couple spinal twists. Left leg across, foot comes by the right side body, right foot over, sole to the mat. Go ahead and let's just start with a hug. Left leg to right knee, right arm behind you. Left arm, right knee, yeah. Right arm behind you. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, twisting. Next exhale, back to center, uncrossing the legs. Go ahead and take those feet nice and wide, wider than hips distance. Heels come to the mat, hands behind to support. Still lengthening through the spine. And begin dropping your knees to one side and then the other. And give a little bit of push in those legs at the bottom. So not just dropping, but going for a little bit extra stretch by encouraging them towards the mat. Stacked one day and not the next, so just honoring the body where you're at in this present moment. Maybe sitting with a straight back here is already a decent stretch in the back of the hip for you. Feel free to stay there, or you may begin to walk your hands forward, bringing your belly and chest towards your legs. On your next inhale, if you decided to come forward, go ahead and press back up to seated. Using your hands to help you switch the cross, moving everything nice and slow and gently as we wake up this morning. No need to force anything. And once you get set up for the other side, go ahead, make sure those feet are kind of flexed, especially the top one. If you're feeling this in your knee joint instead of in the back of the hip, maybe come out and just do the bottom leg to the ground. Beginning to walk forward. Or sitting straight, wherever your hips are at. Breathing here. If you've lost it, go ahead and reconnect with that nice deep breathing in and out through the nose. Using that breath to find opening here. Using the breath to move the tension out of your body. And pressing back up to seated. Go ahead and uncross. And we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. Go ahead and find that nice neutral spine, that nice stack of knees under hips, and knees will be about hips distance apart. Wrists under shoulders. Go ahead and just start with a few rounds of cat-cow on your own. Inhaling, crown and tailbone up. Exhale, arching the spine, pressing through the hands and knees. Done a few rounds of cat-cow, go ahead and make your way back to neutral spine. From neutral, you're really going to press into those hands, and you'll feel your shoulder blades kind of split apart on your back, as if you can push your spine up through your shoulder blades. Tucking that belly button under. You can see just natural, I have a little arch in my spine. I've relaxed my shoulders too. When I press into the shoulders and tuck that tailbone, we come to a pretty straight spine. That kind of arch in the lower back comes out. Go ahead and bring that left foot back behind you, taking a little stretch in that calf first, pressing out through the heel, pressing through the hands. Go ahead and bring that foot parallel to the mat or leg parallel to the mat. From there, double check that your hips not coming up or dropping down, keeping your hips parallel to one another. And go ahead and bring that right arm out. Once you've found your balance here, you guessed it, we're going to go ahead and exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee, taking our time, using all those little muscles through the core to steady our bodies, to find our balance. And at the crunch, give it a little extra crunch. Really draw that belly button up and in. Use those abdominal muscles just a couple more times. And release. Hand and knee back to the mat. Taking a minute to refine that setup before we switch to the other side. Pressing strongly through the palm. Fingers are spread. Taking that right foot back now. Pressing through the heel. Stretching through the calf. And then that leg comes up. Double checking those hips. It's really easy for those hips to want to fly open when we lift that leg. Left arm up, still pressing strongly into that right hand. Out through the fingertips, reaching out through the heel. And exhale, elbow to knee. Lengthen. And elbow to knee. On your exhales, little extra crunch. Lengthen. And crunch, feeling all those beautiful muscles working as your body micro adjusts to keep that balance. One more time, I think. I lost count on this one. And release. Hand and knee to the mat. Big toes together, knees wide, hips back, child's pose. Next inhale, coming back forward onto the hands and knees. Let's go ahead and make our way right to our belly. Going somewhere. If you have a block close to you, I really love adding a block to this one, but you can do it without it. It's a little extra bang for your buck. Go ahead, if you have a block, place that block on your lower back, about where your tailbone's at. That's usually a good place to grab with the palms. And for a moment, we're just going to take the top part. So we're going to take Shalabhasana or locust a few times. And probably for just the last one, we'll take the full expression. Do your best to continue your nice deep breathing. I know it's harder with the belly pressed against the mat. But on your next inhale, with the back of the hands to the mat, lift those shoulders up and down away from the ears, lifting the head, pressing the tops of the feet still into the mat. So just our head and shoulders and chest are up. And keep lifting, kind of with the back of the head Lift, lift, and breathe. And release. Cheek comes to the mat. This time, go ahead and bring those palms together to hold your block. And we're not going to grab onto the block with any of our fingers. We're just going to press the palms towards one another to hold it. Yes, it is difficult. Head and shoulders come up, block comes up, pressing those palms together. Feet still in the mat. We're not adding on the legs yet. Shoulders down away from the ears, pressing into that block, breathing, 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 and release that block back to your back, side of the head to the mat. We're just going to do it one more time, full expression, legs included. Hands to the block, shoulder and chest up, legs up, heels towards the sky, pressing towards the back of the room with that block, squeezing in. Just a few breaths here. One more deep breath. And exhale, release, remove the block. Hands under shoulders, hips up and back. Child's pose. I'd like to do a little child's for countering that back bend. And now coming forward onto the hands and knees and making your way onto your back. We're going to go ahead and work the hamstrings and the glutes with some bridges, hands by the side, palms down. Maybe you roll those shoulder blades under just a little bit right now. You'll feel a nice opening in the chest. From here, gazing up, bringing the feet together, bringing the heels as close as you can to your body. From there, the whole time we're going to squeeze our legs towards one another so that the knees do not fall outward. And then pressing into the feet. Inhale, rolling up. And exhale, rolling back down, one vertebra at a time. And up. Squeeze at the top. And down. Going at the pace of your breath. Squeezing knees together, squeezing glutes to press the hips up at the top. And exhale, release. When that tailbone hits, inhaling again, up and squeeze. Pausing at the top and release. A couple more times here. squeeze it all together down the midline. Exhale, release. Allowing your hips to fully plant onto the mat again. I'd like to try with a single leg. So go ahead and take that right foot, really spreading the toes, really getting a nice firm base with that right foot. The left foot we're going to take up, and we're going to work towards getting it straight up and down. But go ahead and just have it kind of on the angle the same as the thigh right now. The other thigh that's down. Left thigh even with right thigh. And then go ahead and begin pressing in to that right foot up into a one-legged bridge, and exhale back down. Inhale up, squeezing in through midline, and exhale down. And up, and down, and up, and down. One more time if you've got it. Up and down. And release. Left foot comes to the mat. Taking a breath or two here before we switch sides. Now the left foot spreading the toes. Finding that nice strong base. Maybe retucking the shoulder blades. Palms against the mat. Gazing forward. Right foot, sole of the foot up towards the sky. Flexing that top foot, pressing into the left foot. Hips come up, squeezing through midline. And down. And up. And down. Keep that knee pointing straight forward in front of you. Up. And down. Beautiful work. And up and down. One more time. Up and down. Bringing both knees into the chest, giving them a hug. Rocking your knees from side to side. And releasing the feet back to the mat. Let's go ahead and make a nice pillow behind the base of our skull with our hands. Not tugging on the neck, just supporting it. Let's go ahead and bring our feet to 90 degrees, so bend at the knee. I'm going to do the little yogi sit-ups. So once you inhale that head and chest up, they're going to stay up. Right leg comes to a 45, and right arm crosses over towards the left knee. And center, and switch. Up, center, switch. Up, and center. Good job. Keep it going. Nice, slow, and controlled. Your lower back should feel nice and planted on the mat. Hopefully you feel at least a heat building in your core. I know I do. Doing so good. Just a couple more if you can. If not, take a rest. One more each side. release, head and neck to the mat, soles of the feet back to the mat. And then moving on to our leg lifts. Go ahead and make that nice triangle with the hands, thumbs, and pointer fingers. Palms will face down. Find that sweet spot around the sacrum or tailbone. If you do a couple lifts and it's not quite feeling right, go ahead and readjust the hands. You should feel the lower back staying engaged with the earth. Go ahead and bring those knees up and then soles of the feet towards the sky, flexing the feet. Go ahead and drop one leg towards the mat, hovering. Inhale up. Exhale, other foot. And up. Beautiful. Keep going like this at the pace of your own breath. Slow, controlled movements. If it's starting to get hard, just don't go quite so far down, but keep moving the body if you can. We're going to go for a couple more. Come to a 45 if you need to. Just wherever you start to feel that core, those abdominals engage. Bending at the knees, moving the hands, releasing the soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to take one exercise to target the top, and then we'll get those sides before we do our wind down. So go ahead and make that pillow once again. Everything here is going to be leading with the chest. So as if you could press your chest up against the sky. So we're not hunching or rounding, we're lifting straight up. So nice pillow, maybe interlacing the fingers. Inhale, exhale, chest up. Inhale back, but shoulders and head stay up. Exhale, press. Inhale back. Exhale, press. Back and press. And press. All the way back to the mat. Let's go ahead and just grab those sides before we wind down. So you can choose how far in you want your feet. If you take them out a little further, it's a little more work because you got to move a little bit further to get to those heels. But I'd really love for you to touch those heels. Inhale the shoulders and neck up. Head stays in alignment with the spine. Maybe take your feet about hips distance apart so you can find the heels. And then we're just going to penguin side to side, touching one heel and then the other. Inhale, center, exhale, crunch. Looking up. Chin slightly tucked. Coming back to center, releasing down. Nice work. Left foot over, right knee. Inhale, right leg up. Grab behind thigh or in front of shin. Keeping that top foot flexed. Up, grab, back to the mat. Make sure your shoulders touch. Make sure that top foot's flexed. Release. Switching that cross one more time. This time, both knees drop to the right, opening that left arm out and gazing over that left arm. Nice supine spinal twist. Beginning to release control over the breath here. Allowing it to soften and relax. Inhale up to center, switching that cross. Legs over to the left, right arm open, gazing out to the right. Center, uncrossing the legs, drawing them out long. Open the arms to the side. This is a great moment to grab a jacket or blanket as we're going to be relaxing for the next couple minutes. Making your way into Shavasana. Relaxing here. Breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bringing attention back into the body, back into your current space. Maybe you run your thumbs over your fingertips. Maybe take a last stretch before bringing the soles of your feet to the mat, bending at the knees, and making your way onto your side. Just take a moment in fetal position to continue drawing yourself back into the present moment, coming up slowly into seated, head comes last. And as we meet back in seated, bringing our hands together at midpoint, maybe pressing the base of the thumbs into your chest. Closing out the class with one Om. If you're in a space where you can just enjoy that vibration as it moves through your body with your voice. If not, that's okay too. Exhaling and inhaling. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.